welcome to Delphi's Online Learning Center. My name is Karina, and today we're going to be reviewing some glass cutting basics. We'll be discussing glass cutters and how to use them to create a nice score. We'll be discussing running pliers and breaking pliers and how to use these tools effectively. Before we get started, we're going to want to make sure that we put on our safety glasses. It's always important to protect your eyes when cutting glass. There are multiple types of glass cutters available. There's no technical right or wrong style of glass cutter to use, and there's no right or wrong grip. It's a matter of finding the right tool to be comfortable and practiced. This is a pistol style glass cutter. It's available from many different makers. To hold it comfortably, you'll want to place it in your hand. You can hold it with your thumb on top, with your thumb alongside it, or even with your first finger on top. The trick is to find which grip is comfortable for you and then to practice scoring with it. The nice thing with this style of cutter for many artists is it allows you to apply pressure evenly from your shoulder all the way down to your hand, so it prevents wrist and hand fatigue. To use this cutter, you simply want to grip comfortably and firmly, place the cutter head at the edge of the glass, and make a score continuously from one side to the other. We can do that simply like this. The next style of glass cutter I'm going to show you is a pen or pencil style glass cutter. This style of cutter is available in multiple different designs. They are available as a solid cutter or as an oil-filled design. The oil-filled cutters have usually a knob on the back end that you simply remove, add a couple of drips to the reservoir, and then replace the cap on the cutter. You don't want to fill the reservoir all the way full of oil because that will cause it to flow through very quickly and create a bit of a mess. Cutter oil is optional, and you don't have to use cutting oil with every single score you make. However, it's a good idea to keep some cutter oil in your workshop so that you can lubricate the wheel periodically or make sure that the cutter head is oiled before you put your cutter away for long-term storage. To hold this cutter, you can simply place it in your hand much like a pen or pencil. You can hold it with an overhand grip, or you can hold it between your fingers. These are all techniques you'll see demonstrated in various books and videos. Again, finding the grip that's comfortable for you is the most important trick. Once you've found the grip that you find comfortable, you can begin practicing scoring. Again, you want to start at the very edge of the glass and make a continuous score from edge to edge, applying gentle, even pressure. You want to make sure that your pressure is applied from the shoulder all the way down so that you don't strain your fingertips or your wrist. That makes it easy to apply uneven pressure and cause a poor score. In addition, there's cutters such as the custom grip cutter or the Thomas grip cutter. These styles of cutters can be very popular because they allow you to apply pressure evenly from your shoulder very easily. However, they allow you the precision fingertip control that's very comfortable for most people. These cutters work by simply giving you a saddle that you place between your thumb and your first finger here in the webbing of your hand, yet still allow you to have your fingertip control at the cutter head. Again, to use them, starting at the edge of the glass, you simply gently apply pressure and score from side to side. The grip is very similar for either style of cutter. To make a good score, you always want to remember to apply pressure evenly from your shoulder, not from your wrist or your fingertips. That can cause fatigue and can also cause an uneven score that won't break as nicely. You want to start at the edge of the glass, apply gentle, even pressure, and make a score. As you score, you should be able to hear it cause a gentle creaking or scratching noise all the way across the glass. When you look at the score, you'll see a faint line that looks vaguely like a piece of hair laying across the glass. If you score too deeply, it will look like you've trailed salt or pepper across the glass. That score likely will not break cleanly for you. The next thing we're going to discuss is how to break your scores after you've made them. To do this, we're going to talk about multiple different techniques. I'm going to make a score here and demonstrate how to use this breaking mat to run the score. You can see I've made a gentle curve here, which on transparent glass or lightly translucent glass you can easily run on a breaking mat by flipping the glass over so the score is now facing the mat and applying gentle downward pressure from the back side. That popped apart very nicely for me right on my score line. The next thing we're going to discuss is running pliers. There are multiple styles of running pliers available. This is a traditional style of running plier that has large metal jaws, a set screw, a clear mark to show me the center of the jaw, and if you review this shape of the jaw, they're curved. The bottom jaw curves up in the middle, the top jaw curves down on either side. This applies pressure downward on either side of the score line and upward directly underneath the score. Additionally, there are plastic running pliers that do the same thing, but by just having a small raised bump and a divot in the center. And there are fancy running pliers, such as the silver Schnitt running pliers, that have a small bump here and an adjustable top pad that allow you to reach into tighter spaces. We'll get started by using the traditional running pliers for this first score. You want to make sure that you use running pliers on scores that are at least a half an inch of glass on either side of the score line. Anything closer than that doesn't allow it to apply pressure properly and evenly to break the glass. To use them, first thing you want to do is place them anywhere on your glass. Tighten the set screw until it touches, then back it off about 1/4 of a turn. They are now adjusted for the proper thickness of your piece of glass. I now align the jaws on my score line so that they are facing the same direction as my score. I'm going to apply gentle pressure to start to run my score. I can now turn my glass and continue running my score from the other end, and it breaks cleanly. In addition to the traditional running pliers, we have silver Schnitt running pliers or glass star ring star running pliers that use much the same design. They have a small raised dot that's placed underneath the score. The top pad is adjustable, which allows me to work slightly closer to the edge of the glass to run my score. I'm going to create a score that's a little less than a half an inch away from the edge of my piece of glass. And I will use these running pliers to start to run my score. I'm going to place the dot directly underneath my score line and gently squeeze. I'll turn my glass, align my pliers again, and squeeze. If it had not run completely from edge to edge, the nice thing about this tool is I can rotate this top pad, and I could have reached in the center to gently squeeze here and continue running my score even from the center of this piece. That's one of the nice things that make this tool so versatile. The last tool in our arsenal for breaking glass is breaker-grozer pliers. Breaker-grozer pliers and traditional breaking pliers are very similar. The difference is breaker-grozer pliers have one curved jaw and one flat jaw. Traditional breaking pliers have two flat jaws. The curved jaw and breaker-grozer pliers give us a little additional versatility because they allow us to groze glass or crumble little bits of glass away if we need to remove a small amount of material to avoid extra time at the grinder. Let's make a score that's too close to the edge of the glass to be able to break with running pliers. This score, as you can see, is within a 1/4 of an inch of the edge of the glass. I'm going to use my breaking pliers to break this little bit away. To do so, I'm going to hold my breaking grozer pliers with the flat jaw on top. I'm going to position them so that they are perpendicular to my score. That means that my score runs this way on the glass, and my pliers come straight out away from it. The tips of my breaking pliers need to be approximately 1/8 to 1/16 of an inch away from my score line as I grip the glass firmly, but don't pinch too hard. You want to position your pliers, grip, and then pull the pliers directly straight away from the glass. A rocking motion may cause the glass to crumble. You may not always be able to break the entire length of a strip with one pull. You can simply continue by placing the pliers further down along the score line, pulling and breaking another piece away until you have broken the entire length of your score line and removed the additional material. In this instance, you'll notice that there are some spots that didn't break cleanly for me. This may be because I didn't create a completely clean score with my glass cutter. To be able to remove those, I can use my grozing action on these pliers to crumble bits of it away before I clean it up with my glass grinder. To use the grozing action, I position the curved jaw on top and simply rock downward, and it will crumble little bits of the glass away to get closer to my score line. And that edge is now much cleaner and closer to my score line and will require much less time at my glass grinder. It's important to remember that safety always comes first in the workshop. Whenever you're cutting glass, you'll end up with little fragments and shards on your work surface. Between cutting pieces of glass, you should remember to use a bench brush or a small broom to sweep those up and into a trash container to keep your workshop clean and safe and avoid unnecessary cuts. Now that we've reviewed these cutting techniques, you can apply them to any glass that you wish to cut, whether it's a simple clear glass, a beautiful art glass piece, regular colored glass, or heavily textured glasses. Anytime you cut glass, simply remember, choose the tool, practice with it, use good techniques, and you'll have success cutting. If you'd like to learn more about glass cutting using grinders or any of the other tools, visit delphiglass.com's Art Glass TV to play, watch, and learn. Thank you.